We're not going to call it an upset, but it kind of upset the status quo. Here we are, Darlington Raceway, my favorite NASCAR track. The Southern 500, my favorite NASCAR race. And did we see this coming? I mean, on one hand, Chase Briscoe won last year for Stewart-Haas Racing. It's not a huge surprise that he would do it again with Joe Gibbs Racing. Better equipment, more resources, a place that, you know, you look at the top 5 today, right? You've got Eric Jones, who is very good, knows his way around here. This is a driver's track. But the reason I say that it kind of upset the status quo is that, one, you know, you look at the playoff standings now. Got my notepad. You know, Chase Briscoe has 7 more playoff points, and you know that's going to serve him very well in his pursuit of getting to the championship race. At Media Day on Wednesday, he said that he felt like he was going to have to win in that final round to make it to Phoenix, and he still might have to. I mean, you look at what happened last year. Bale and Hamlin, and who else was eliminated that day? All because 3 guys who absolutely needed to win did. But having 7 more playoffs 1 week into 7 more playoff points 1 week into the 10 race tournament, it goes a long way. And the thing that I think was super consequential about this race was obviously the number of good teams that had some problems on pit road. Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, a lot of problems on pit road. And say what you will about the next gen car, but you know that when you lose your track position, it's going to be really, really hard to pass. Cars are too equal, not enough power, it's too heavy. Too much wake off the car coming behind you. Clean air is king. And you look at these playoff points right now, right? You've got Chase Elliott 9 points above the cut line. Christopher Bell is 11. Joey Logano's -3. Shane Van Gisbergen, this was supposed to be his best track to make something out of this round. And I'm not totally sure this is going to work out for him now. He's 3 up. He used up the entirety of his buffer, and it's not even his fault. I think that Shane was probably going to coast towards a top 20 run. He went long every single stage. He's a really, really good tire manager, even on ovals. He's really good at Richmond, right? We saw him run the wall at Richmond and finish 14th, and he finished 20th here in the spring, and that was his 7th ever cup race or whatever it was, right? And so I don't think it's looking too good for Shane. Logano's in trouble. It reminds me of 2 years ago where he had the crash at Bristol in the night race, and he was the defending champion and was eliminated in the first round. Wouldn't that be something? 2 first rounds in a row that Joey Logano comes in as the reigning champion, gets eliminated at Bristol. Remember, he is even year magic. Made the Final Four in 14, 16, 18, won the championship. 20, 22, won the championship. 24, this is an odd year. And the last odd year that he was the reigning champion, he is out. And so, interesting setup, right? Blaney had a bad day, and it wasn't his fault. I mean, Blaney even said that after the race. Blaney said, you know, we asked him what's wrong, and he's like, we were fine. Everyone around us screwed up and screwed us up. Carson Hocevar and Chase Elliott, you know, the old DBC guys used to say the Ross Chastain don't give up tour. This is now the Carson Hocevar not giving up tour. That was racing. What happened between him and Chase early in the race. But the boldness, the temerity, the unmitigated gall of Carson to come over the radio and say, I don't care, I don't give up who he drives for. I'm over his crap, or whatever it was exactly that Carson said. It makes for great theater. But then Carson, cuts off Christopher Bell on pit road and damages the right front splitter on the 20 car and causes a really bad day for Christopher. And like I said, now it's plus 11. That's a small, tiny margin of error for Christopher at Gateway or Bristol, where anything can happen, going back to Logano, right? But the thing that I thought was just really, really impressive is, like I said, Chase Briscoe winning back-to-back. First of all, we talk about the hype and the hoopla of the playoffs, and this is still the Southern 500. Like I said, it's my personal favorite NASCAR race. I love this place. I should point this way. I love Darlington Raceway. It's cold. I'm actually really chilly. It's the coldest Southern 500 I've ever covered, especially once it got to be about 8, 9 o'clock. Cold front really came in. But for Chase Briscoe to win 2 of these in a row, one for Tony Stewart, one for Joe Gibbs, make an early playoff statement. Thought that was a really big deal. The legacy guys, right? We know Eric Jones is good here, 2-time Southern 500 winner himself. His teammate, John Hunter Nemechek, having a really good day too. Got to talk about the finish, right? Man, I love Darlington. I love the Southern 500. I do not love the next gen, and I'm so sick of jumping on these post-race debrief videos, whether it was Richmond or the super speedway racing we saw at Daytona. I'm so tired of talking about aero and wide tires and underpowered heavy bricks. Tyler Reddick was the faster car at the end, and I don't know if the cars were too equal or if there was some mirror driving. Tyler was able to drive it in super deep and just couldn't quite get there. And I've watched enough Xfinity races here over the last couple of years. I've watched Cup races with the Gen 6 when they took the big spoiler off. In fact, remember the first year, 2019, they ran the drafting package. It was the full 750. I say full. It was the tapered 750, but with the big spoiler. And they were running the bottom. This kind of reminds me of that. This tire falls off pretty good. But I hate that this car just doesn't allow for the kind of, Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch, the things we see in the Xfinity Series, Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe here. The pandemic year, so 2020, stinks. Got to find some way to take the underbody out. Let's go with the short track rule package here. We actually run, the Royal the Cup Series runs the intermediate package, which I think helps tire wear, puts a little bit more load on the tire. That's good, but I wonder if you could fix some of the dirty air stuff if you run the simplified diffuser here at Darlington. It's frustrating. But I still love coming here. The crowd was a little underwhelming. It's the least impressive crowd here, I think, not counting the pandemic, certainly in the next gen era. And I would warn NASCAR fans around the PD and around the Carolinas that if you love this race, we've lost it before. Let's not lose it again. The Labor Day holiday weekend. Certainly let's not lose 2 dates, but some of that's on NASCAR too, right? Like, fix the car. And I don't think we're going to fix the car until this lawsuit is done. And I want a Southern 500 that looks like the old Gen 6 and the old Gen 5 and the Xfinity cars, right? AJ Allmendinger, got to talk about him too, right? Top 10 all race, top 5 finisher. AJ's 43, and there's a part of me that sits there and wonders, man, I wish AJ was a little younger because Colic is 2-3 years away from running Dodges and being a full-fledged factory team. And can you imagine this version of AJ Allmendinger with Chris Rice and Matt Colic, who is super feeling himself, for the most part, as happy as AJ can be behind the wheel. Can you imagine AJ with tier 1 manufacturer support? I know he had that, partial year at Team Penske and the suspension happened. It was a different AJ. It was a different NASCAR. The Gen 6 obviously is a car that I think suits his driving techniques really well. But a great run for AJ. And I'm bummed that I did not personally talk to AJ after the race. I was trying to chase down all the playoff guys, but I would be remiss if I did not talk about AJ a little bit. I will say, listen, we've talked about the car and things I wish was better about the car. I still enjoy the strategy. I enjoy trying to see the undercut and the overcut here on pit road, doing whatever you can to get track position. It stung for a guy like Shane because you get caught by a bad caution, that's your entire race. And we talked about how awful it was a day for Hendrick Motorsports. Some of that was just bad luck, timing. You lose your track position because your pit timing doesn't work out. You catch a bad caution. That happened to the 9 team. It ruins your race. So it's kind of a double-edged sword to that, right? Like, it shouldn't be this hard to pass. It should be hard to pass. It's super slick. It's Darlington. But it also makes the race really compelling from a strategic engineering, data and analytics standpoint. And I try to find things that I like, even in the things that I don't like. And I would encourage everyone who watches NASCAR to try to do more of that too. And listen, any Sunday night, Labor Day morning that I can spend here at Darlington Raceway, it's a good day. And if you watch the race, it's a good day too. So playoffs are underway. We've got some early drama. I think Joey Logano's in a little bit of trouble. One more bad day, and it's a repeat of 23. I think Shane is done. I know he's 3 points above the cut line, but he's not going to get that back, I don't think. Christopher Bell is at risk. Look at my handy-dandy notepad. Kiki's Delivery Service for the nerds out there. It's my favorite Studio Ghibli Miyazaki movie. Bought this today at a bookstore. Cool notepad. Dylan, I think Dylan's in trouble, -8. Not that they can't have good runs. I think they could have a good Bristol and a good Gateway. They just haven't showed that greatness consistently enough to convince me that it's going to happen, right? Berry. I haven't talked about Josh Berry this whole time. Qualified 3rd right here where I'm looking at. Turn 1. I see the skid marks. That stinks because I don't know that they have enough to go out and score a ton of stage points. And 19 points out, you might need to win the race. And so that sucks. I mean, I've written about it. I've talked about it. I've known Josh Berry for a long time. I've covered his entire late model career, his short track career. Super stoked to see him in the playoffs. And I don't think this is going to be a magical run unless he has a magical moment. And listen, the Penske cars and the Wood brothers, they're good at a place like Gateway, and Bristol is a short track, and it fits what Josh Berry does. But everyone's a short tracker here at this level too. So we will see what sort of drama Gateway and then Bristol has in store for us. So if you're up late, or you get up early, you watch this in the morning. I'm tired. If I sound exasperated, I've been up since 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning here in the PD, and don't quite have the same energy that I normally do. I'm tired. I've got a 2-hour drive back to North Carolina, so we'll leave it there. Thank you for humoring me, talking racing with me. Saw a bunch of you guys that recognized me at Quincy's. Michael Kelly made a new friend, his family. Good to meet you guys. some other people whose name I didn't get. Cars Tour on Friday, always a good time at Florence. Interesting Truck Series race on Saturday too. And we're off to the playoff races, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Later.